Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a pack and organize for our family vacation. I'm going to take you through some meal planning, some food prep, some packing, as well as some organizing of our items that we're bringing with us. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm a married mom of 3. I post weekly content with some clean organization, decluttering motivation. If you do enjoy this type of content, I would love for you to hit that red subscribe button, as well as hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos from me. And let's get this done. So the first thing I did was took time to write out a meal plan for all of our meals, as well as any snacks that we would have between us and the kids. And then after that, I went through the house and wrote out a shopping list so I could do one big shop before our trip. My whole goal with this was to minimally have to go to the store, so the only things we ran out of on our trip was actually milk and eggs, which are staples in the house that we typically run out of every couple days anyway, so that wasn't out of the ordinary for us. But I'm really glad that I did this because I don't normally meal plan this extensively before a trip, but it was really nice because it was easy to grab something for dinner. It was quick, we got the kids fed, and I wasn't spending the whole time cooking. So this worked out really well, and I highly recommend doing this before you're going on a big trip because it just made life so much easier. So I did a bunch of food prep before we left. I made some slow cooker ribs as well as our slow cooker meatballs, and then when they were done, I just froze them in big Ziploc bags, and then that way we just took them with us in the cooler, put them in the freezer when we got to our resort, and then we just take them out the morning of that we were going to have them for dinner. And then all we did was add some sides, so we just did some vegetables and some potatoes or some sidekicks, so it made dinner super easy. I also made a batch of yogurt to take with us as well so that we didn't have to go and buy a bunch of yogurt. So I got that made as well before we left. Next, I mixed all the dry ingredients together for the pancakes so that all we had to do was add the liquid stuff. And then I also put a bunch of other condiments, oil, and that sort of thing in smaller containers so we weren't bringing the large containers with us on the trip. I next made some chocolate chip cookies. I decided to do this as opposed to buying some cookies to bring with us because we like the taste of the homemade cookies much better. So I want to get a head start on packing, so anything that did not have to be refrigerated, I put into this bin and then cross off my list, so then that way I knew it was accounted for and had been packed. One thing I always do is when I do a load of laundry a couple days before we leave, as I fold it, I put anything aside that we want to take with us so I can start packing all of our suitcases, and that way we don't wear it, because sometimes I do run out of time when I'm packing and planning for a trip that I don't get a chance to do any more laundry. So this way I know that anything that we're taking with us will not be worn before we leave. So it definitely has made my life easier when it comes to packing. And then it saves putting all the laundry away and then going back in everyone's rooms and taking it back out again to put in the suitcase. So I feel like it just saves a step. Next I went to the garage and I went through and grabbed anything that was our outdoor items from the shelves so that way I could see it organized on the floor and see what we had, see what we want to take with us, and put them all into bins before I load them in the truck. So one thing I highly recommend is get yourself a plug-in cooler. The great thing is I was able to pack this the day before, and also you can plug it into your cigarette lighter if you're traveling so you can keep everything cold and no need for ice packs. And then what you can do is if you're staying in several hotels along the way, you can simply just bring your cooler into the hotel, plug it in overnight. You don't have to unload it. You don't have to worry about refreezing ice packs, or do what I did one time where I actually left my ice packs in the freezer of the fridge at the hotel. So this way I can get some of that stuff packed, cross off my list, and they're already ready to go. I next wanted to get the back of the truck loaded because this was the first time that we had traveled with the truck. So I'm very familiar with my van, but not so familiar with the truck. So I wanted to take the time to pack it, as I knew it was to be a bit of Tetris and trial and error. And then that way I wasn't trying to get this packed the morning that we're leaving and among the chaos of getting everyone ready, getting out the door on time. So this was something that would make my life much easier the day that we're leaving. The day that we were leaving, the only thing we had to do was put the coolers in and the electronics. Everything else was already pretty well packed. So this definitely made life much easier the day we were leaving. Anytime we go on a road trip, I typically make lunches for us on the road, especially with the kids. They're always hungry at unpredictable times, so then that way they have some lunch, some snacks, and that way they're happy on the drive and on the ferry ride. The last thing I had to do was take everything from the fridge and put them in the coolers and then load the coolers, and we were ready to hit the road. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got some motivation and inspiration on how to pack and organize for your next vacation. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up, as well as hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss future videos from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!